Go there to hear their pitch and then use their own logic against them to build your own strategy. The silence of the night. Move at 3 a.m. when the world is asleep and the energy is clear so you can think without the noise of the masses. Training the predator mindset. Madhatan Smith, if you want to be a predator and not prey, you have to stop thinking like a consumer and start thinking like a producer. A producer looks at a forest and sees lumber and furniture, while a consumer just sees a place to hike. You have to be the one who provides the value and the solutions to the problems that keep the rich awake at night. When you talk to people, you need to use that sweet talk that is coated in honey but has a core of steel. You make them feel like they are the most important person in the world while you are secretly scanning their spirit for any signs of the vampire. Energy vampires are real, and they look like your friends and your family and your co-workers, but they are there to suck the life out of your vision because they are too scared to have their own. You identify them by how you feel after you leave their presence. If you feel drained and tired and doubtful, then you have just been fed upon, and you need to cut that cord immediately with no explanation. A boss does not have time to be a battery for a loser. To win in all you do, Madhatan Smith, you have to align yourself with the light of light and recognize that everything in this world is just borrowed for a short time. You use the resources, you use the land, you use the connections, but you never let them own you. You stay a ghost in the machine and a fox in the field, and you keep your eyes on the prize, which is total and absolute freedom. Move with that mafia grace where every step is calculated and every word is weighed before it leaves your mouth. Train your mind to see the beauty in the struggle and the opportunity in the chaos. This is how you shine, and this is how you attract the women who want a man who is a king of his own domain. You are a winner because you chose to be, and the world has no choice but to bow to that level of conviction. Listen close, Madhatan Smith, because the light of light doesn't whisper to the deaf. It shouts to the ones ready to inherit the earth. You want the ghost walk, the fox's heart, and the predator's eyes. So I'm going to lay this out in a raw, unfiltered street intelligence flow that's going to vibrate in your marrow. We are talking about the shadow sovereignty, the level where you don't use your money because you are the middleman for the universe's infinite resources. The ghost and the fox, the art of untouchable movement. To be a ghost, Madhatan, you have to realize that most people are loud because they are empty. A boss doesn't seek attention. A boss seeks influence. The ghost moves through the room like smoke. Everyone feels the temperature change, but nobody can grab a handful of you. You keep your personal business in a vault with no key. You talk in results, never in plans. The fox is the master of the reverse trail. When everyone thinks you're heading for the front door, you've already secured the roof. A fox is hard to catch because he never uses the same hole twice. You stay unpredictable by being perfectly disciplined. You don't have a routine that enemies can clock. You have a rhythm that only you can hear. To be the predator, you stop looking at what people say and you start looking at what they need. Everyone has a hunger. The predator finds the hunger and controls the food. You don't prey on the weak. That's for scavengers. A true boss-level predator targets the systems, the bottlenecks, and the gatekeepers. You become the solution to a problem they didn't even know they had yet. When you walk into a room, your glow comes from the fact that you aren't there to take anything. You are there to decide who gets what. That is the ultimate shine. The 29 strategic access points, living large on OPM, other people's money, and OPR, other people's resources. Madhatan, the rich stay rich because they don't spend their capital, they spend their access. Here is how you transform your mind into a resource magnet. Use these 29 portals to live a luxury life while your own bread stays in the oven growing. The high-end hotel lobby. This is your office. For the price of a coffee, you sit in $50,000 chairs, meet international players, and absorb the frequency of wealth. The university library private. Access to global databases and high-level research without the $100,000 tuition. Knowledge is the first resource. 24-hour premium work centers. Places like we work but higher tier. You don't just work there. You neighbor with CEOs. Their infrastructure becomes your backdrop. The luxury gym steam room. This is where the real board meetings happen. People are vulnerable and relaxed. One conversation here is worth 10 cold calls. Listen close, Madhatan Smith. You want the raw, the unfiltered, the ghost fox predator blueprint. You want to move through this world like smoke, seen but untouchable, there but gone. You're asking for the keys to the kingdom where other people's money, OPM, is the currency and access is the ultimate weapon. I'm going to lay this out in a way that transforms your mind into a fortress and your movements into shadows. No fluff, no games. Just the street-level gospel of high-intelligence survival and dominance. The ghost protocol, moving without a shadow. Being a ghost isn't about hiding in a basement. It's about standing right in front of the world and remaining invisible to their tracking. A ghost has no ego. A ghost doesn't need to be the loudest in the room because the loudest person is the first one targeted. To be a ghost, you master the neutral frame. You look like everyone, you sound like no one, and you leave no digital or emotional footprint. You enter a building, and 3 minutes after you leave, nobody can remember the color of your shirt or the sound of your voice. You use cash, you use burner protocols, and you keep your business behind 3 layers of no. When you walk, you don't walk like you own the place. That's for Marx. You walk like you're the landlord who's just checking the plumbing. You are essential but ignored. The way of the fox, the untouchable predator. The fox is the smartest player in the woods because the fox knows the hounds are always coming. To be a fox, you never use the same trail twice. You have bolt holes everywhere. A fox doesn't fight a lion. It leads the lion into a trap and then vanishes. This is about lateral thinking. While everyone else is running toward the money, you're looking at who owns the road they're running on. You play the long game. You're not the prey because you've already mapped out every exit before you even stepped into the field. To catch a fox, you have to be smarter than nature itself. And most people are barely smarter than their smartphones. 29 gates to the abundant life, mastering access and OPM. Madhatan Smith, remember this. Poor people work for money. Rich people control access to assets. Here are 29 ways to move like a boss, utilizing OPM and high-level strategy to stack your deck. Land banks. Buy the dirt that nobody wants today, but everyone needs tomorrow. Use municipal tax liens to snatch property for pennies. 24-hour work centers. These are the modern-day crossroads. You don't need an office, you need a membership. It's where the high-level deals are whispered at 3 a.m. Public libraries, the ultimate ghost office. High-speed internet, zero footprint, and access to databases that cost thousands for free. Gym memberships, elite tier. You don't go to work out. You go to be in the same steam room as the guy who signs the checks. Proximity is power. Hotel lobbies, the Mafia boardroom. Act like a guest, sit in the deep leather chairs, and conduct your business in a high-class environment without paying the rent. Sovereign wealth flows. Study where the big government money is moving. If a city is building a new transit line, buy the ghost properties nearby before the first shovel hits the ground. Private equity, flips. Use OPM to buy a dying business, strip the fat, and sell the skeleton. That's the cartel way of corporate life. Credit unions. Smaller, more personal, and easier to smooth talk into high-limit lines of credit compared to the big box banks. Equipment leasing. Why buy the tractor when you can lease it and let the tax man pay for it? Control the asset. Don't own the liability. Trade credit. Convince suppliers to give you the goods now and pay them 90 days later. You're selling their product before you've even paid for it. Hard money lenders. These are the street bankers. High interest, but they don't care about your credit score. They care about the deal. Angel investor groups. Learn the language of the pitch. Sell the dream to people who have more money than time. Real estate investment trusts. REITs. Own a piece of a skyscraper without ever having to fix a toilet. Ghost corporations, LLCs. Layer your companies. Company A is owned by Company B, which is owned by a trust. Keep the predators off your trail. University research parks. Access to billion-dollar tech and the smartest minds before they hit the mainstream. Agricultural tax breaks. Buy land, put 2 cows on it, and watch your property taxes vanish. Family offices. Position yourself as a consultant for ultra-high net worth families. They don't want employees, they want consiglieres. Government grants. There is free money everywhere if you know how to write the proposal. It's the ultimate OPM. Venture debt. Take loans against the future value of your ideas. Foreign exchange, Forex, shelters, move value across borders where the local taxman can't see the sunrise. Art as collateral. Buy a painting, get it appraised high, and take a loan against it. You keep the art, and you use the bank's money to play. Master limited partnerships. Tax-advantaged ways to own infrastructure like pipelines and energy grids. Special purpose vehicles, SPVs. Create a temporary ghost company just for one big deal, then dissolve it. Barter networks. Trade your high-level skills